What's going on, everyone? SJ Collectibles back with another toy review video, and in this one I'll be going over my custom-made Ellie and Joel figures from The Last of Us Part 1. This has been a project a long time in the making for me, and I was super excited to finally get this done. I've been working on it over the last several weeks, and I'm very happy to be showing them to you now. So to get started, I will start with Ellie. Take her off this base. The base, by the way, came from a McFarlane Toys 2-pack with Batman and Superman from Dark Knight Returns. So for Ellie, I started with an America Chavez Marvel Legends figure base. I thought the overall look of the body was perfect for a 14-year-old Ellie figure, just the height and everything compared to the NECA Toys figure I would be using for Joel. So she had the jeans and the shirt and stuff. I just removed the jacket and I used arms from Black Series Rise of Skywalker Rey figure and just painted them. Really didn't have to sculpt any detail. I just dremeled the sleeves of the other shirt to put the arm into. After I had cut the arms down from the America Chavez figure, I used some sculpt to make the bottom of the t-shirt. There'll be some process pictures in the video. So then I also sculpted the bottom of the pants as well to make them more of jeans and not tights. And it was perfect that she had these shoes as well, and I just painted them and dirtied them up. I added this whole grimy feel to the figure. I add like baking soda into my paint because it kind of grits it up when I dry brush and everything. Then for backpack, I used a NECA Toys John Connor backpack. I just repainted it and sculpted some of her pins that she has on it in the first game. As for the head, I originally bought a head sculpt of Ellie that I'd found on eBay off of a dealer named Braintree Studios, and it was a really good head sculpt. In the description, it said it was for 1/10 scale. 1/12 scale for Marvel Legends and Mayfax, things like that. So more along this line of this scale. But upon receiving it, it was more of a NECA scale figure. It was just, if I brought in the Ellie from Last of Us Part 2, set her right next to this, you can see the height difference between it was along the lines of this Ellie. This is my custom painted Ellie with some bruisings and stuff from Part 2. But the head sculpt was the size of this for this figure, so it definitely would not have worked. It would have looked like a bobblehead compared to for this body that I needed. So I kind of improvised. I reached out to the seller, and he thought he had shipped me the wrong head, and so when I received that one, it was still the same size. But it's okay. I have it if I ever decide to use it for another project. But I had to improvise, and I ended up using another Marvel Legends figure head from the Hawkeye TV show. I thought the likeness was pretty close to, and the head sculpt was the perfect size for this body. I just removed the hair and I resculpted the front of her hair, her part line and everything, blended it in with the tied back hair, and I removed the ponytail and sculpted another ponytail to add to her. I just repainted the face. I added freckles and painted her eyes green, and then I also added the scar that she has on her eyebrow. As far as the design on her shirt, I hand painted that and aged the shirt with I use Scotch Brite. After I paint everything, I lightly rub Scotch Brite on to the paint job after it's sealed and everything, and it will it'll age whatever you've painted and kind of brighten up some and dirty up a lot of the things too. And I just like the overall look of what that did with the aging process to my paint job. I also added a flashlight to her backpack. And then as far as accessories go, I gave her small handgun that you can give. Fits perfectly into her hand. And then also the knife that the Ellie from the 2-pack with Joel and Ellie from part 2 come with. So, have her accurate accessories. And so that's pretty much everything about Ellie. I really love how she came out, and you can see that she's perfectly scaled next to Joel, who we'll just discuss next. Again, I got a head sculpt from the same guy. After I bought the Ellie sculpt, I asked him if he ever did a Joel head from part 1, and he told me yes. So he printed me out one and painted it, and I received it this past week, and I was just absolutely blown away by how accurate and amazing that looks. The paint job this guy did on it's really good too. I just absolutely love it. So I needed a body for it, so I ended up using the NECA Toys Nathan Drake figure from Uncharted. Thought it was a perfect overall body sculpt for this Joel figure. I just used green stuff to sculpt and turn his quarter sleeve t-shirt or his quarter sleeve shirt into a button down. So I sculpted with green stuff everything down below the belt, which was exposed before. The pockets, also the collar to the shirt. And then I painted it. There are the lines and everything that makes the plaid shirt. I aged it again, so it's kind of faded everything, and I really like the look of that because I always got the feeling he's been wearing this shirt for a very long time in the game. So it's got blood from previous probably fist fights he was in and everything. So then turn him around and have the backpack. It started out as the Black Series Rebel Commando backpack, and I just used green stuff to sculpt and bulk up the backpack, but also make it accurate to the one in the game, and I'll show you progress pictures here. I also added loops onto the side of the bag so you can take weapon accessories. I'll take his rifle, loop it around, and you can take this and loop it through where the scope is for in particular, and like in the game it can be added and hooked onto his backpack. As far as the straps go, it was off of some G.I. Joe classified figure that I bought. I just added the lower straps to extend the backpack, and I made this loop and made the flashlight be able to be removable from the backpack as well. Sculpted that wrapping that he has. There's also the duct tape on the backpack on the top and the bottom where he has fixed it because it's really old and straps are falling off. I also have the arrows stuck into the bag as well. As for the legs, I kept the legs that came with Nathan Drake. I just repainted them, aged them up, and I used the boots from the Last of Us Part 2 Joel figure. I had an extra one, so I just used the feet. Sculpted the rolled up sleeves on the shirt, and another part that made this perfect was he had the watch. I just repainted it. So on this side, I made this custom bat that has the scissors put into it. So again, you can hook weapons into his backpack, and you can be like in the first game where you have your melee weapon, and you can store up to 2 of your long-range weapons on your bag. I added the holster so he can add one of his handguns, and then you can make him hold his other pistol if you want to. As far as other accessories went for him, I made the gas mask, and it just pretty much clips onto his face like that. And to me, I think it looks really good. And it just kind of stays there. I want to add a strap to it, but for right now, I mean, it just clips onto his face perfectly. I also made, as far as accessories go, set Joel back here for a minute. I made the flamethrower. I mainly used pieces from my fodder box of parts that I have, but I remember mainly it was the NECA Toys Part 7 Jason, that weed whipper that he comes with, and it does have a removable flame on it that you can remove. I think it came from a Puppet Master figure of Torch, and again, he can store it on his bag or whatever, but I just love how this came out. Let's see. I also made the nail bomb. It was like a little can that I had, and I just drilled a bunch of holes, and I added a bunch of scissor accessories from, I think, like a McFarlane Toys Tortured Soul figure. I made the Diablo pistol. Just added a scope to, I think, the handgun from Ripley figure from Alien Isolation. And I made the shorty. There's a shotgun I just added. Pistol handle and the clip. I love how this came out. Lastly, made the Molotov. It does have a removable flame on it, so then it's just the bottle. The full list of accessories for both these figures will be in this picture here. So in all, I love everything about these figures. They definitely are what I've wanted because I love both of these games so much. First one in particular, I just love the more linear story to it. I can bring in one of my clickers too, the male clicker. I'm going to work on a female clicker. Put that with them. But yeah, overall, I'm very excited to have these in my collection. And I hope you all that have watched this video like these figures as well. Let me know what you think in the comments section. If you aren't subscribed to the channel, please do. I try and release content as much as I can. But I hope you all really liked the video. Thanks for watching. And as always, this is SJ Collectibles saying toys keep you young, and happy hunting out there, everyone. And until the next one, take it easy, guys.